Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are heading to Siberia. Yeah, Siberia.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, to the frigid heart of it all. We're going to be looking at the Siberian brown bear and the Siberian tiger.
Two apex predators.
Exactly. And we're going to try to figure out how they survive.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing that by going through this YouTube documentary
All right.
called Icy Kingdom of Siberia. It's from Primitive World.
Okay. I'm familiar with them.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about surviving.
Right.
In a landscape where temperatures plunge to negative 40 degrees C, and food can be scarce for months.
Yeah.
Really a brutal test of survival. What do you think? What does it take to thrive in a place like that?
I think the animals that thrive in Siberia are some of the most resourceful on the planet. Not only do they survive, but they flourish in those extreme conditions.
Yeah. Let's start with the Siberian brown bear. These bears are just famous for their size and strength, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's more than just brute force that helps them dominate that landscape. You know, their entire physiology is geared towards surviving the Siberian winter.
Okay, so what kind of adaptations?
So I think one of the most fascinating things about these bears is their double layer fur coat. It's just like a marvel of natural engineering.
Yeah.
The outer layer, it acts like a waterproof shell. So it sheds snow and keeps the bear dry. And then underneath that, they have this dense, soft undercoat. And that traps heat, providing insulation even in the most extreme temperatures.
Oh, okay. So it's like they're always wearing a high-tech winter jacket.
Exactly.
But surviving the Siberian winter takes more than just, staying warm.
Absolutely. They need a source of energy
Yeah.
to power them through months of hibernation.
Right.
So that's where their incredible fat reserves come in.
Fat reserves, okay.
Before winter, they can store up to 30–40% of their body weight in fat. Just imagine that.
That's astounding. How much are they eating?
They've been observed eating up to 20,000 calories a day. That's roughly equivalent to, I believe, about 30 kilograms of food.
30 kilograms a day. That's a lot of food.
Every day in the lead up to hibernation. They are incredibly active during this period. And, I think people often forget they're not just carnivores.
Right.
Around 70–80% of their diet is actually plant-based.
Okay.
Things like berries, roots, grasses.
So what about the other 20%?
That's when they turn into these, very capable hunters they need to be.
Yeah. I remember in the video they were taking down, impressive prey, rabbits, squirrels, even deer and elk. I was surprised by, how fast they can move.
Oh, yeah. In short bursts, they can reach speeds up to 56 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
Which is crucial for ambushing their prey.
Okay.
And they are incredibly strong as well. A single swipe of their paw can generate enough force to bring down a moose.
Oh, wow. That's incredible power. Yeah, especially in a place where, every calorie counts. How do they find food in such a vast landscape? It's often desolate, right?
Well, that's where their sense of smell comes in. It's estimated to be about 2,000 times more powerful than ours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They can detect the scent of food from, get this, up to 32 kilometers away.
Oh, wow. That's like having a built-in GPS for food.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So they're using their sense of smell to find all this food to build up these massive fat reserves.
Exactly.
And then they rely on those reserves to survive hibernation.
Absolutely. Hibernation is essential for their survival. They spend 5 to 7 months sleeping in dens, conserving energy during, the harshest part of the winter when food is scarce.
It's an amazing adaptation. But what about when they emerge?
Well, when they emerge, they're incredibly hungry.
Of course.
And they face another challenge.
What's that?
Competition.
Oh, yeah. We haven't even talked about the Siberian tiger.
Oh, yes.
They also call this frozen landscape home. And the documentary really highlighted, their size and power. The Siberian tiger is the largest tiger in the world, right?
They are. They can grow to over 3 meters long and weigh over 300 kilograms.
Wow.
Some individuals have even been recorded at close to 400 kilograms.
That's bigger than a motorcycle.
It is.
Yeah, I can see why they need to be powerful hunters.
Their size is essential for hunting large prey like deer and boar, which form the majority of their diet.
Right.
And they have another adaptation that sets them apart from other predators.
What do you think I'm thinking of?
Are you thinking about their stripes?
Yeah, the stripes and that pale coloration.
The perfect camouflage.
Yeah.
For a snowy environment.
Yeah, perfect for blending in.
Precisely. It helps them blend seamlessly into that landscape.
Right.
Making them incredibly stealthy hunters. But unlike wolves, which rely on pack tactics, the Siberian tiger is a solitary predator.
So how did they manage to bring down large prey on their own? That's got to be a real challenge in such a a vast and unforgiving environment.
Well, their hunting strategy is really a testament to their patience and precision. They rely on their keen eyesight
Okay.
to spot prey from a distance. And of course, that incredible camouflage that we talked about to stalk their target.
Right.
And then, when the moment is right, they unleash incredible speed and power.
Yeah, those leaps. The video had some great footage of them just taking down prey. Incredible leaps.
Yeah, their leaps are not just powerful, they're incredibly precise. They can generate enough force to break bones with a single blow, ensuring, a very quick and efficient kill.
Wow. So it's like they're a sniper
Yeah,
and a heavyweight boxer all in one.
that's a great way to put it, yeah.
It's just a perfect example of how, evolution has really shaped their physical abilities
Right.
and also their hunting strategies to thrive in this challenging environment. And, this raises an interesting question for me.
What's that?
If hunting alone is so challenging in Siberia, why hasn't the Siberian tiger evolved to hunt in packs, like wolves do?
That is a great question.
It seems like teamwork would make life a lot easier, especially, in such a harsh environment.
It seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But the answer lies in the unique ecological dynamics of the Siberian taiga. And to understand that, we need to delve a little deeper. So why don't Siberian tigers hunt in packs? Well, it really comes down to the fact that the Siberian taiga is very different from other environments where you see pack hunters like wolves.
Right. Okay.
Think about it. The prey animals in Siberia, the deer and boar, they aren't clustered together in big herds like you might see in the African savanna.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
They're spread out over huge distances, and a lot of times they're hiding in dense forests.
So it'd be pretty hard for a pack of predators to, like, surround their prey in that kind of environment, huh?
Exactly. A
So,
pack of wolves would have a tough time coordinating an attack in those dense forests. It's just much more efficient for a solitary hunter, like a Siberian tiger, to use stealth and camouflage to ambush individual animals.
makes sense. It's like they've evolved to be the perfect solo hunters for this landscape.
Right. And here's another thing to think about. A wolf pack can share a large kill, but a tiger has to eat its prey pretty quickly before it attracts scavengers or other predators.
So all that size and strength isn't just for hunting, it's also for eating as much as possible, as fast as possible.
Exactly. They've been known to eat up to 40 kilograms of meat in one sitting.
Wow, that's a lot of food.
It is. And that kind of eating capacity is crucial when you're competing with bears and wolverines for food.
It's like a Siberian tiger all-you-can-eat buffet.
You got it. But their solitary lifestyle also affects their social behavior and how they reproduce.
Okay, so it's not just about hunting. How does being solitary affect other parts of their lives?
While unlike wolves, which live and hunt together in packs, Siberian tigers are mostly loners, except when it's mating season.
Wow, that sounds pretty lonely.
It's definitely a challenging way to live, but it's also how they've adapted to the limited resources of the taiga. Having a big territory ensures that a tiger has enough prey to survive and raise its cubs.
So it's a way to manage limited resources.
Exactly. It's a balance between competition and cooperation. Tigers will defend their territory from rivals, but they can tolerate some overlap, especially between males and females.
So they're finding a compromise between needing to survive on their own and needing to reproduce to keep the species going.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of their solitary life, how female tigers raise their cubs.
Okay, so now we're talking about family dynamics. What's special about how they raise their young?
Well, unlike wolf packs, where lots of adults help take care of the pups, female Siberian tigers raise their cubs all by themselves.
That's a lot of work, especially in such a harsh environment. How long do the cubs stay with their mother?
Cubs usually stay with their mother for about 2 years, learning all the skills they need to survive before they go off on their own. The mother is incredibly protective during that time, defending her cubs from any threats, even other tigers, bears, and humans.
So they're dedicated mothers as well as skilled hunters.
Absolutely. And how successful they are at raising cubs is crucial for the entire Siberian tiger population.
It's amazing how being solitary has shaped so many aspects of their lives, from how they hunt to how they interact with each other and even how they parent.
It really shows how adaptable they are,
Yeah.
but it also highlights how vulnerable they are. Because they need large territories and they hunt alone, they're very susceptible to things like habitat loss.
Right, the documentary mentioned threats like poaching and deforestation.
Exactly. As humans move further into their territories, Siberian tigers are facing more and more pressure. Whether they survive depends on our ability to protect their habitat and make sure there's enough prey for them to hunt. And this is where their role as a keystone species is so important.
You used that term before. Can you remind me what a keystone species is and why it matters for the Siberian tiger?
A keystone species is one that has a huge impact on its ecosystem, even if there aren't a lot of them. If a keystone species disappears, it can really mess things up for the whole ecosystem.
So the Siberian tiger isn't just important for its own survival, it's important for the health of the whole Siberian taiga.
Exactly. By controlling the herbivore population, Siberian tigers prevent overgrazing, which helps maintain plant diversity and a healthy forest. And a healthy forest supports all kinds of other species, from birds and insects to smaller mammals and even fish.
Wow, I hadn't thought about how everything is connected like that. Their role is much bigger than I realized.
It is, and it shows how important conservation efforts are, not just for Siberian tigers themselves, but also for the vast landscapes they live in.
So protecting the Siberian tiger is really about protecting the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. How well they do is tied to the health of the taiga. And their story teaches us a powerful lesson about how interconnected nature is and how important it is to understand that web of life that supports all of us.
That's a really thought-provoking idea. It reminds us that we're not just watching nature, we're a part of it. What we do matters, and it's up to us to make choices that help these amazing creatures survive and protect the ecosystems they represent.
Well said. And as we learn more about the survival strategies of these Siberian icons, maybe we can also gain some insights into our own relationship with nature and the challenges we face in a world that's changing so rapidly.
It's incredible, right? The challenges these animals face in Siberia. Extreme cold, limited food, and yet they thrive in one of the harshest environments on the planet.
It's a true testament to evolution. Millions of years of natural selection have perfectly fine-tuned their bodies and behaviors, allowing them to not just survive, but really make the most of their surroundings.
Yeah, and they're not just surviving, they're playing these really important roles in their ecosystem.
Right.
The Siberian brown bear, with its size and varied diet, helps control those prey populations and distribute seeds. And then the Siberian tiger, hunting solo, keeps herbivore numbers in check, preventing overgrazing and keeping that whole forest balanced.
What I find so fascinating is how intertwined their survival is. They're competitors, for sure, going after the same resources, but they're also part of this incredibly delicate web of interdependence. If one species is affected, it impacts the others and, ultimately, the health of the entire ecosystem.
It really highlights that even in a place as vast and wild as Siberia, everything is connected. And it reminds us that our actions, even far away from these remote landscapes, can have consequences that impact these animals and their habitat.
Exactly. We tend to think of wilderness areas as pristine, untouched, but human activities are having a huge impact on even the most remote corners of our planet. Things like climate change, deforestation, poaching. It all threatens that delicate balance of the Siberian taiga.
The documentary really stressed the importance of conservation to protect both the animals and their habitat. It got me thinking about what we can learn from their resilience and adaptability.
That's such a key takeaway from our deep dive. The Siberian brown bear and Siberian tiger are masters of adaptation. They've evolved over thousands of years to thrive in an environment that's always changing. And they show us that resilience isn't just about strength or endurance. It's also about flexibility, being resourceful, and being able to adjust to new challenges.
Yeah, we may not be facing the same threats as a Siberian tiger, but we certainly have our own set of challenges in a world that's changing faster than ever.
Absolutely. Think about the challenges we face individually and as a society. Climate change, economic uncertainty, all the social and political upheaval happening. All of these situations require us to adapt, to find new ways of thinking and doing, to be resourceful and resilient when things get tough.
So how can we take these lessons from Siberian survival and apply them to our own lives?
I think it starts with a change in our perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as impossible obstacles, we can look at them as opportunities to grow and adapt. Just like the Siberian brown bear changes its diet based on what's available each season, we can learn to be more adaptable in how we approach problems.
And we can be inspired by the Siberian tiger, that solitary strength and determination. They remind us that even when we feel isolated or overwhelmed, we have the inner resources to persevere and find our own path to success.
And just like the tiger and the bear play key roles in keeping their ecosystem healthy, we also have a responsibility